Now let's talk about the first step that you're going to take to get your book published. Editing. Editing is huge. A lot of people feel, well, I'm a great writer, I don't need an editor. Wrong. One of the main reasons that writers need editors is not just because of spelling and grammar, you may know all of that, but because when we write a book, we revise our copy so many times. How many times do you go through your draft and revise it and revise it and revise it till you think it's perfect? Well, when we do that, we tend to skip over small words we may miss, and that's because we know what should be on that page, but we don't see what's really on the page. Even if we read it out loud slowly, which is a great way to edit, even if we do that, we will skip over things and miss things because we know what the story should be. Another reason that we need editors is that a lot of times we'll miss obvious flaws in our story, things that we are not going to catch ourselves. And I'll give you an example. In my first book, Mostly Murder, I have a story about a blind girl. And in this story, I say, Sarita is her name. I say, Sarita went to the kitchen, flipped on the light, and went to the stove. Now, why would a blind girl flip on a light? But I didn't catch that. It took someone else reading it to catch that for me and ask that question. So that's because even though I had read my story over and over 100 times, it didn't occur to me that I had made that mistake. So one of the things that I do is I have someone else, even just a trusted friend, someone who's an avid reader or another writer that you trust, read over my work before it even goes to an editor. So keep that in mind. Have a couple of people that you know and trust. Maybe someone you can exchange work with and you can read each other's work and critique it, or just someone who's a reader that you know and trust, and you can just have them, ask any questions, anything that may not be clear to you, and you can clear that up. So that's one of the reasons, though, to have a good editor. An editor will catch things like that. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the different types of editing.